You know, when you talk about people getting along like oil and water, it's not usually a very good thing. But when you combine oil and water in photography, it can sometimes be a heavenly match. Hi, and welcome to Visual Art Photography Tutorials. I'm Ray Scott, and today on Neighborhood Photographer, we're going to combine oil and water to come up with highly impactful, very interesting images. Before we go in to do our macro photography project today on oil and water, I'd like to remind you that if you haven't subscribed yet to the channel, please do so. You'll be joining a growing community of enthusiastic photographers. Plus, you'll get early notifications on newly uploaded videos. And if you are a subscriber to the channel, a really big thank you to you. You are the people who make this channel. Okay, let's go inside and do our macro photography project today. So this is your basic setup for the macro photography oil and water project. Got to be on a tripod here, of course. We've got a little table with, I'm using at this point 20 CDs on each side with a piece of glass over those CDs and then a glass container on top of that flat piece of glass. Now you can do it any way you want, but you need some distance between the glass and the table so that the background will be blurry. Okay, so this is it. This is what it looks like. I'm using a macro lens. You don't have to use a macro lens. You can use a regular lens with your camera, any kind of a zoom lens or something like that. The only thing is if you're not using a macro lens, you're probably going to need a bigger container with a little more water and a little more oil so that the bubbles will be a little bit bigger because you're not getting as close to the subject. Okay, now, why do we have that blanket there? Well, we've resurrected what we call the ugly old dirty blanket from a previous video on abstract photography, and we're using it here because it's going to add the color to this image. All right? Now let me just zoom in a little bit so that you can get a better look at what's going on here. The lens straight down into the dish, and it's important that your lens is straight down, because if it isn't, some parts of your image will be in focus and others won't be. So you want to make sure that that is very square to your glass dish. Okay, and I'll zoom back out so that I can show you something else. As you're taking pictures, you can agitate the oil and water solution so that your bubbles will change in size and in number. I usually use a straw or a spoon. Either one works. So you agitate and you take a shot. Agitate, take a shot. But you also should be moving the blanket. So you see my hand in here? I'll take a shot, then I'll move the blanket. Take another shot. Move the blanket. I might even agitate at this point. Move the blanket again, get different colors, because this particular blanket has colors all over the place. So use something that has varying colors and you will get varying results with your images. Oil and water, and in this particular instance we're using the old blanket, but you can use anything that's very colorful. Don't forget to agitate, but if you have a camera and a lens, you too can do this project. So there you have it. Oil and water to make highly impactful, fantastical images. I'm Ray Scott. And remember, it's not what you see, it's how you see it. And I'll see you soon.